Good afternoon and welcome to Joy News Today. I am Daniel Daze. Let's take the headlines. Kumasi High Court throws out the injunction application seeking to prevent authorities of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, KNUST, from converting university and unity halls to unisex halls. Volta Inland Fishermen Association give government a 3-day ultimatum to address a premixed fuel shortage in Yeji. And Evangelical Church Hospital in Pandai gets anesthetist machines. I am Daniel Daze. Stay for the details. Great to have you with us. Let's now take you back to Jubilee House, where Otumfuo Osetutu II is paying a courtesy call on Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic.
Sabian Crew from here. Jase Bafo Anantahene Jura. Dadia Swaba Bafo Dadia Swaba.
Still live on Joy News today. As you can see, Paramount chiefs who are accompanying Otumfuo Osetutu II are currently greeting President Akufo-Addo. We'll take you back where Elton John Brobe is live there with us as and when we have updates. Now, in the meantime, a High Court in Kumasi has rejected 2 motions for interlocutory injunction to restrain authorities of Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, KNUST, from going ahead to convert single-sex halls of residence to mixed facilities. The actions separately filed by alumni of male halls, University Hall, aka Katanga, and Unity Halls, whose lawyers are already serving notice they will head for the Supreme Court over the matter. Counsel for University Hall, Stephen Asante Berkon, says the decision of the university against the Constitution is against the Constitution of Ghana.
I'm lawyer for University Hall, Katanga, yes. We filed an application subsequent to our writ, an application for injunction to restrain the university authorities from bringing females to the University Hall, yes, and then the other hall is Unity Hall. So both applications were consolidated. That's joined for one ruling, yes. And this morning the court has ruled that the application will be refused on grounds that letters had already been issued out to the prospective candidates who are coming in as students, admitted students, and that they have already been assigned to the halls. Yeah, so that is that. So it wasn't. Well, I don't mince words. I intend to go to the Supreme Court for interpretation of, because University, we relied heavily on the Constitution. A lot of things that are happening breach the Constitution of 1992, and we intend to go to the Supreme Court for interpretation. We are saying that you cannot displace males. You cannot displace males to the advantage of females. You cannot bring females to the hall for males to be displaced. Yes, and I hear even Katanga, they are turning the whole of the main hall into females hall. So where will the mail go?
But you're having Africa Hall also now bringing mails. What about?
Where is the evidence? We have as of now, we have evidence of Unity Hall and Katanga, that is University Hall, being converted. We don't have any evidence of Africa Hall having the same problem. Yes. So we think it's still discriminatory, and the solution we'll find it. Yes, the battle has just begun. It's a legal battle. It's a lawful one, and it has just begun. The substantive case is still pending, and we will see what happens next.
Thank you so much, sir.
There's been some reactions from the hall leaders following the decision of the court.
I feel so angry and devastated about this issue because the government is supposed to come into this issue, but they've neglected us. I quite remember the year 2016 when Anado was coming on campus to do campaign. Our VC, Professor Obi Danso, told him that that place is not a place for political grounds. We the Katangis and Continentals, we stood for you, Nanado. We stood for you. Yep. We blocked Hall 7 and various roads for you to campaign to us. And we were the people who voted for you. So why have you neglected us? Due to this issue. And the most important thing that I'm even angry about is Honorable Education Minister. You are an anomaly of Continental. You've neglected us too. And you want us to be happy about this issue. They were talking about discrimination. What's discrimination about this one? A week later, a week before we come into the court, the KNUST administration issued a statement that they are converting all 6 halls to mixed hall because they don't have a case. Now they've turned Africa, the only female hall that we have in KNUST campus. They've taken that one too. They've added it to those as a mixed hall. And you were saying that you want to dominate female. You want the females to be dominated within the campus. So why is this issue? Now you are saying something about discrimination. You say equal gender. At first you said you want to give female more opportunities for them to stay on campus. So why are you converting African Hall? And why are you converting male halls to mixed halls? I want them to understand that the leaders who are ruling Ghana now, they all came from male halls and male schools. So I want them to listen. We want Anado. If he's watching us, I want him to hear that we the KNUST, we the Katangis, we the Continentals, Katanga and Konti, we want him to know that what we did for him, he never paid us back well. So 2020, he will know. We will know where. No. It's not really having the masses. Of course. We have our plan B, and we know what we do. Thank you all. That's it.
Away from that issue, performance surgeries at the Evangelical Church of Ghana Hospital in Pandai had always been nerve-wracking and dangerous because of lack of anesthetic machines. However, after a Joy News report, the hospital now has 2 anesthetic machines donated by the Member of Parliament for the area and a group of foreign missionaries. Jojo Kobna reports that the surgical team is relieved and have suspended plans of leaving the district due to challenges.
9 months ago, when Joy News visited a Pandai district of the northern region, this was the situation.
Firstly, Father, we thank you once again. We commit this case into your hand and take control. We commit this case Okay, good. So, can I go?
A baby is born. The surgery was strenuous because the Evangelical Church of Ghana Hospital had no anesthetic machine. The pregnant woman who experienced prolonged labor could have lost her life. Jagri, her husband, named the baby immediately. The name Joy was to show gratitude to Joy News for intervening and safely transporting his wife, who was riding dangerously on a motorbike, to the hospital to deliver. The doctor on duty was happy but had concerns.
I am appealing to you, to anybody who listens to this story and is touched, to come to our aid. A certain machine, averagely, if you have about 50,000, 50 to 60,000 for our level, is to be able to get us an anesthetic machine. At least this is to serve as a guarantee for quality care of our pregnant women who cannot deliver and have to go to theater.
Without an anesthetic machine, the anesthetist would have to monitor patients manually, and that is laborious and could be dangerous. The good news is that the Evangelical Church of Ghana Hospital now has 2 anesthetic machines following Joy News report.
Very, very happy. I'm very, very happy. Because without a machine, when we go for a workshop, every year we go for workshops to renew our opinion always and to upgrade our knowledge. And my colleague used to call me a murderer. How do you give anesthesia without a machine? It means you are with AK-47 loaded with what? Bullets to kill. It wasn't my fault. Looking at where I found myself, referring people from here to the nearby facilities, anything can happen. Some come there with bleeding. Maternal distress, fetal distress, there's nothing we can do than to risk and with God's intervention. When I'm coming to do them, I'm not comfortable because I ask myself a lot of questions. If spinal fails, what do I do next? But without there's no machine. You see me standing, walking, singing, praying here and there. But with machine, I hope all this kind of tension on me is now reduced. This kind of happiness reigning in me is through the efforts of Joy News. Because since I came here, we wrote letters upon letters. I wrote letters upon letters to the Meshop to do something. And in fact, I was counting. I would say, Joy News, all the Pandai people, the district, this district, and beyond the district, let me put it that way, because people from above the district comes here for treatment. If they should, or if they can get my voice, let us all stand up and thank Joy News, and I'll say, may God bless them. Because I was giving them letters, I was counting my letters, and when I get to a level, I would have left this place. Because I can't continue to be labeled a murderer.
9 months on, Kwabna Joy is doing very well, and his parents are grateful, but they want government to work on the poor nature of the Pandai roads, and also provide ambulance for the community.
I could barely sit on the motorbike. I thank God Joy News showed up. Anything could have happened. Please remind government to give us an ambulance.
Jojo Kobna, Joy News.
Now, Supreme Court Judge nominee Justice Agnes Mercy Abla Doji has defended the current legal regime where there is no cap on the number of justices at the highest court of the land. The Constitution gives a minimum of 9 with no maximum. Justice Doji says the legal system works better this way. Joseph Opoko-Gakpo joins us via phone from the appointment committee sitting where she is being vetted. We'll be speaking to Joseph shortly, but now let's take you live to Parliament where the vetting is ongoing.
Must declare him the owner of the property. On the ground, in the courtroom, the evidence shows that, yes, this one has the indivisible title. But it got to a point when I said I'll visit the locus. And when I visited, I saw clearly that this man has been in possession for years. And therefore, I said, though you have an indivisible title, the one who holds a customary law title has been in possession and he has a good title as well. And therefore, your common law title cannot defeat his customary law title in view of what pertains on the ground. He went on appeal. The Court of Appeal affirmed my holding. He went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court affirmed the same principle.
We'll now take you to Jubilee House, where Otumfuo II is currently addressing the president. He is speaking through a linguist.
Food and jobs Wash us here, we do Hujuma. So, Namsa Unqua Baku, won't mean any anti, would I shany pebins as a mumo, Namoni Sergimano. The horse, did media show Monsignor, some bayer, no my Jumatin, Abo, Ama, a man do Infinina Dua, no Bunkunta, and Pat when you come to a Bratagana force, do can't obey no, wait me aye. 247 Jumano 18, Unimsa, a Musicasem 18. So we nipa. So nam so ye nipa nti enye ni nyirara na abetimaye na emom de obetimaye no momodan na ye na Ghana fo hu sampa ubaye no waye bi akwan ayarehwe siku ya ye kan nyinara aduane ni ku ya ye nyina ni nyinara e ya de wakoma so a odi atodwa bambo se de be Ghana asi penya sumdwe na e ho beto ye ni nyina e de wakoma so waka ama Ghana fo ati e nyina de mpa ye ta wachi se de be ya de odi atodwa no nhye nyina bet no aye amana yi Otumfuo se obaya odina santema baya obo abaso no ahye odine wo hyira wo se obetima ye na ye wasan ye kuni de no nu se obetima ye se ye nyina ba kire se ede mpa ye betawachi e nananmo sunsum nanam samamfo sunsum nyina e betawachi se be ya obetima ye adwuma no Otumfuo se wo ha ka hunu se owo kumase no empa ya na oba ma o se de be ya do we bia bekotin na bibia ayeye.
We have our eyes on that visit that Otumfuo said to the second is paying President Akufo-Addo. We'll take you back as and when more developments occur. But of course, Otumfuo has been saying through a linguist, he's been acknowledging the arduous task the president has before him, that is being president of the country, though he is encouraging him to do little that he can so that in 2020, when time comes to give accounts to the people of Ghana, he would have something to show for his 4 years of stewardship. We're going to take you now to the Volta region because the Volta Inland Fishermen Association has given government a 3-day ultimatum to address the premixed fuel shortage in Yeji in that part of the country. Now, the fishermen, together with boat owners in the region, say they have not had premix supply for over 2 months now, a situation they describe as worrying and a threat to their survival. The fishermen have been meeting the DCE and the district fisheries director over the matter. Here's Felix Asunda, the chief fisherman for the area.
More than 105 communities within the Kruis district have not been supplied with premixed fuel in the last 2 months. Because it has been very difficult for us. We haven't been able to go fishing. due to the shortage of the premix fuel.
Premix na ambanso no eka ye nkora na yidibo konsuo so no se premix ne ba obo hu se yensa yusu sa nkora no mfa konsuo so enti yesre se premix no omo ye hu bibi mai enimonimu ya yeda na se premix na amba enya dia yedi ye na wo yedi bia basa badwa ye mbadwa o system a premix enya se yensa baka na ebeba de o ho no no.
District Chief Executive of Pru East Joshua Kweku Abonkra has been responding to concerns raised by the fishermen.
Through as the boat owners and the fishermen are complaining about the shortage of the premise, which goes against their work. I want to entreat them that a delegation have been sent to Accra at the Ministry of Fisheries to work on the premise fuel so that we can have a very good flow of it in Yeji. I also want to use this opportunity as they are complaining about the premise and have been cautioned not to act in any way to undermine whatever the government will want to do to help them. I also want to say that on this note, as we have been deliberated under the meeting, I want to caution that anybody who will do any illegal fishing against the the procedures laid by the government will also be caught up by the law. And so I'll caution that each and individual will caution himself or herself against illegal fishing.
Let's stay a bit more with this story of a premix fuel shortage in Yeji in the Brong Ahafo region. We'll go on the phone lines now and speak with Daniel Techi of Alive FM in Yeji. Daniel, what's the situation when you checked today?
Well, the situation is the same. As I speak now, there haven't been any premix fuel in Yeji ever since, let's say, for the past 2 months. We have not been getting premix. That was what led to the seizure of some premix by some party, MPP party executives 2 weeks ago. As I speak now, information that I gathered from the Premier Secretariat also shows that the incident that happened 2 weeks ago, they are also trying to make sure the law works. Therefore, they are asking the executives of the party in Pru District that they should produce the perpetrators of that particular act that happened 2 weeks ago until they produce people who perpetrated that particular act. There is no way they're going to bring any fuel to Yeji. So as we speak now, they haven't been any fuel ever since that incident happened. And as for now, fishermen are also saying that until the premises, they brought that premise or they bring premise to the district, they are not going to fishing. And also, so far as the market in Yeji here is booming because of fishing, when they don't bring fish to the market, the district is not going to get any revenue. And they are also going to make sure that their kids that are in school now, because they get permits to go for fishing and they use outboard motors, it means they are going to bring their kids from school to come and help them in their fishing. And for that matter, it means that it is going to affect their children and also their businesses as well. So for them, until they bring permits, meaning they are not going for fishing.
Daniel, how has the refusal of the fishermen to go fishing affected life in Yeji generally?
Well, Yeji is a big market, a fish market. In fact, the market we have here, people from Accra, Takoradi, Kumasi, Sunyani, and all the regional capitals. Even people from abroad come here to come and buy fish and export to other countries. As it turns out, the livelihood of Yeji depends on the market. And when the fishermen don't go for fishing, it means people in Yeji here, they will find it difficult in living because all the people in Yeji, they also go to the shore to buy, sell to other people who come from other neighboring towns and capitals to market. So, in fact, when they don't go for fishing, life in Yeji will be very, very difficult. In fact, it will be unbearable for the people of Yeji here.
Thank you very much, Daniel Techi, for that report. Now, meanwhile, the chairman of the Premix Fuel Committee, Nilante Bannerman, does not agree with the fishermen. He has joined us on the line and we'll be speaking to him now. Now, Mr. Bannerman, it's been more than 2 months since fishermen in Yeji had their supply. Is this the case, or what are you saying?
Good afternoon to your listeners. I'm surprised your reporter is saying that it's been over 2 months since Yeji had fuel. That's why they speak. That's fuel. On the 26th of July, Yeti had premix. On the 30th of July, Yeti had premix. We have records to show. The information being put out by the perpetrators of this act is a deliberate attempt to cover the wrongs that they have done. We've been supplying them the fuel. Yes, it is not. So FDA has introduced a new system at all, where each fuel that is loaded, be it premix, super, diesel, gas, has to be logged into the DC net system. So there's been some form of slow pace of the delivery of the premix fuel. Now, Yeti has been receiving fuel, and it is not too much. In fact, the days are giving you. It doesn't show that for 2 months, Yeti has not had fuel. Subsequently, the incident happened on Wednesday, 8 August. Fuel going to Pajai, Akambe, and Makambe was seized by some people in Yeti. We got information of that, made calls to the commander, the naval officers, the ECE, but the people involved didn't really release the tracks to go to the various things with the complaint that they have not received fuel in the world. But our records, they have received fuel.
Now, Mr. Bannerman,
yes.
Mr. Bannerman, if I may, is it not curious that people who have received fuel are refusing to go out and fish and are robbing themselves of their own livelihood because they claim they don't have the fuel?
No, yes, I'm coming to it. Subsequently, we have not taken fuel since on the 9th of this month. And that is because the perpetrators of the act, when I mean the perpetrators of the act, I mean those who impounded the vehicle, deflated the tank, broke the seal on the truck, and discharged the fuel illegally, needs to be brought to this. You agree with me that we can also look on for this act. As I speak to you, even if we, the committee, as a committee, if we are ready to even supply premix today, the tanker drivers are not ready to do. I can make available to you a letter they have written to us, indicating the danger they find themselves in with their property as in the truck and their lives as well. That when they got there, they were attacked, and the truck was impounded, the tires were deflated, the steel broken, and the fuel discharged illegally. All we are saying is that the DCE and the people there should hand over the people who perpetrated this, and then we'll supply them the fuel. As I said to you, all the noises that are coming from Yeti, I can tell you, are coming from people who just want to rabble the system. Because we make sure that we supply enough fuel to Makambo and other nearby areas so that the fisher folks can get access to the fuel.
Mr. Bannerman,
those who founded the fuel at Yeti need to be brought to.
Mr. Bannerman, understanding that the law needs to take its course, should the persons who discharge this fuel illegally, should they not be found through normal means of investigation? Some would say that you are holding the livelihood of the entire community at ransom. I said some would say that you are holding the livelihood of this community at ransom rather than investigating and uncovering those who discharge the fuel.
I think as a country, we should all help to sanitize the system. People have perpetrated certain acts. Now that the tanker drivers are saying they are not going to. We've written to the National Security Ministry, we've written to the appropriate authorities, the police service, that we need these people to be brought to book. We can't continue to condone and take on these people while they continue to do these things. The National Committee, of which I am only the chairman, I don't take the final decision, has decided that this is the way to go. And I'm telling you, my brother, this is not the first time such an act has been perpetrated in Yeti. How long is this thing going to continue?
Is it legal for you to deliberately withhold premix fuel that these persons are willing to buy?
We are not deliberately withholding the premix. We are sending the premix to other areas like Makambo and other nearby areas for them to get it. And that's what they do. You see, these fishers and boat owners, they move from one point to the other.
Thank you very much, Neil Lante Bannerman. Thank you very much, Neil Lante Bannerman, for joining us. He's a chairman for the Premix Committee, the National Premix Committee. Now, we'll stay with agriculture because a few farms along the White Volta Basin in the Upper East region are currently submerged in floodwaters due to a high rate of rainfall this year. Now, following the announcement by the Burkina Faso Power Authority, Sonabel, that they will spill excess water from the Bagri Dam beginning Thursday, farmers at Palugu are worried they could completely lose their farms. Joy News' Upper East correspondent Albert Sori spoke to some farmers and now reports.
So I'm here on the banks of the White Volta Lake, and this is the Palugu community. Now on each side of the lake you have farms. The whole of this place, you have people's farms there, and also on the other side you have many of the farmers who live in this area plying their trade. And we're told that the Burkinabe authorities have started spilling water from the Bagre Dam. Now every year this happens, and what they're telling me is that every time the water is spilled from their farms, which are at least 200-300 meters away from the lake, even get flooded, because where I'm standing will be full of water eventually when the volumes of water coming from the Bagre Dam are very high.
Those who farm along the White Volta, every year will farm, water will take it. Every year will farm, water will take it. People are saying that the farmers should vacate. If farmers are going to vacate, where are we going to get a land and farm? And especially when you go to the uplands and you don't have money, you can't access to money to buy fertilizer. So it's a worry. And more to the point, instead of our leaders should go to Burkina Faso and see the way they are also opening their water. Because if they are going to open the water, I think a water have a meter ban. Maybe if it is 100, then you see that their dam is overflowing. They should advise the Burkina Faso people to regulate the water, maybe 10% and leave 90%. 3 weeks time, they'll open another 10%. That one, it won't affect the farmers. But Massa, in fact, what our leaders are doing to us is very bad. Especially, I don't know what our MPs are doing from Upper East, Northern region. Because this White Volta started affecting people from Zabila up to this side, going to overseas. All the northern regions, part of Volta region, it will affect. What our MPs are doing, they should go to Burkina.
And I hear news that they are going to open the Burkina Bagre Dam. And then I was here to, the place that we are farming, the thing will affect us. So we need the government to help us, because every year, we didn't have money to buy a fertilizer. See, this is my corn. I didn't put fertilizer inside, but I have a corn. But if this water comes and then destroy it, I won't get the food. So I'm appealing that the government should help. They should let the minister and the MPs to go there and then consult with them. And then let them help us. Because if the water is going to 8 or 100, they should be opening it 10-10 so that we'll get the food.
We have no option than to farm here.
You're still watching Joy News today. We take you back to Jubilee House, where President Otumfuo is addressing his visitors, led by, of course, Otumfuo II.
For the first time since I took up residence here, by the grace of God and the confidence of the Ghanaian people, I'm aware that Otumfuo, you have visited each of my predecessors of the Fourth Republic since you ascended the great stool of Asante. Came here in 1999 to visit President Rawlings. In the year 2004, you visited President John Ajikun Kufuor, and then came to visit and congratulate President Mills on his victory, 2009. And I believe that before you gave the famous lecture to the National Commission for Civic Education on Democracy, you also came here to pay your respects to President Mahama. So me being the fifth, this is your fifth time that you have graced the presidency of our country. But I am prepared to make a statement that will end up as controversy, but it is true. I don't believe you came with such a delegation ever here before. This is the first time. This is the first time that we've seen such a powerful delegation of Asanteman here at Jubilee House. And I have to thank you very, very warmly from the very bottom of my heart for this exceptional show of respect and affection that you have given to me this morning by this delegation. It's the same reason why I thought it was important that I should assemble as many of my ministers and officials who are working with me in government to come and be on standby. Several of them you know, including your own grandson. Today, he's clearly on my side. He's even worn a suit to come and indicate. But so many of your own children and grandchildren, Alancha Mateng, Kandapa, and the women of women, Akusia, Frema, Oseo Pare, are all here to come and support me in welcoming you to Jubilee House. I want to use this occasion to thank you also very much for the role that you played in making sure that the events of 7 December 2016 were given a peaceful outcome. I know all that took place behind the scenes, the role that you played in making sure that everything went very smoothly in our country and that the stability and peace which has become associated with our nation was maintained. The Ghanaian people will continue to be grateful to you for your intervention. And this capacity to reduce tension and smooth things over. I think that yesterday at Chebi, we saw yet another incident of that. What you did in Chebi yesterday, came to visit your younger brother, Sajafo Amwetio Foripenyi, on the 75th anniversary of our mutual grandfather, and the signal that you gave, that the attempt on some people's part to put problems between the two traditional states did not exist, that on the contrary, unity and solidarity were the watchwords in the relationship between the two states, is something also that I am particularly grateful and appreciative of. I believe that the lesson that was given in Chebi is a lesson that should be taken across Ghana about the need for unity amongst our people, and for us to understand that yes, we may be of diverse origins and histories and customs, but essentially we are all part and parcel of the Ghanaian fabric, and that is what we need to hold on to maintain the unity, the coherence, and the stability of our nation. The events at Chebi should be a signal about your commitment to this One Ghana project, and it is one for which the Ghanaian people will continue to appreciate and thank you for. It is a signal of my determination also to make sure that all parts of our nation are touched by the program of transformation and development that my government is committed to. And that every part of Ghana will benefit from my mandate. I don't want to be a mandate that is exclusive to one side or the other. So where things need to be done, they will be done on their merits, not as a result of any particular inclination for one set of Ghanaians or the other. That's why I was particularly happy that on my recent tour in Ashanti, I was able to unveil the program for repairing the parlous state, the very tragic state of the road infrastructure in Asanteman, which has been allowed to degenerate for so long. That is going to be a thing of the past when Otumfuo's presidency is over. Asanteman's commitment is there. Otumfuo, I want to also thank you for the steadfast support you have given the government over the implementation of the free SHS policy. I know it has not been an easy matter for the nation, finding the resources and the determination to do it, but I believe that if for nothing, my period on the stage of Ghana should be identified with ensuring that every Ghanaian child, no matter the circumstances of their birth, no matter where they live in our country, has access to a minimum of secondary school education to be able to propel them to be able to live in this 21st century. It is a commitment that I made, and I'm not turning back on it. And I believe it is a commitment now the Ghanaian people have accepted as part of the educational architecture of our nation. The new program of the double-track system is all in furtherance of ensuring that every child in Ghana has access to a minimum quality education. The first year, 90,000 more students came into the stream. This year, 180,000 more, an increase of 31%. It's unprecedented across the African continent, such statistics. And that we have devised this method of being able to ensure that every one of them has access to good education. Again, the fight against galamsey is a fight that you have also joined wholeheartedly. And the chiefs in Asante too have expressed their support and determination to make sure that we win this fight. That at the end of the day, the sanitization of our environment, of our water bodies, that all of us want to see will come about in our time. And that the pristine nature of our environment will be restored in Ghana. That fight is a fight of all of us. The efforts of peacemaking that you have been involved in, not ended. There is the great issue of Dagon, which for now 15, 16 years has been a scar on our nation. And one of the great traditional states of our country continues to have this crisis that came about from the tragic death and killing of the Yana Andani Yakubu. It has been in your hands, together with your brothers, the Nairi of Mampruga, the Yabongura, the Gonja state, to find a solution. And I'm hoping that very soon the people of Ghana will hear from your lips that a roadmap has finally been agreed upon that would allow us to come out of this crisis and install a new Yana in furtherance of the peace and cohesion of Dagon. It would be one of the most important contributions that you can make to the stability and coherence of our nation. And all of us are anxious. Know that my government will give you whatever support that is required for you to be able to conclude this important task. And generally, to make sure that chieftaincy conflicts in our nation are reduced, if not eliminated, because of their capacity to sap the energies and the resources of our country, so that we can then all focus with a single-minded sense of purpose on the development and rapid growth of Ghana. We can do it if we all put our minds and shoulders to the wheel, that within a generation that we can transform the circumstances of our country. I said this to you in Kumasi, and I want to repeat it here. It would be for me an enduring matter of pride that in your time as a Santini, and the period, the temporary license that I have here, that in this period, Ghana will witness a rapid and remarkable transformation, and so that when the history is written, as I boom, and a So I want you once again to welcome you very warmly to the seat of the presidency, to thank you for this visit, and to let you know that I stand ready always to be of assistance and of help for any problems, issues that might develop in our great kingdom of Ashanti, to make sure that the development of Ashanti as well as of Ghana continues on an even scale. We're very, very happy to have you here, especially after what happened yesterday in Chebi, and we wish you a very pleasant, brief stay in Accra before you go back to Kumasi to continue your important duties. The organization of Jubilee House has gone out of its way to make sure that this delegation that you come with can also break bread with us after this ceremony is over, so that we can all eat together here before you go back. And that's the papa, and that's the Nisra, that's it.
That was President Akufo-Addo addressing his visitors, of course, Otumfuo Osei II II. You're still watching Joy News. Today, I am Daniel Dazi. Let's take business now.